Accra Sports Stadium is venue for the Match Day 2 game between Accra Great Olympics and Legon Cities for the 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League. 28 degrees Celsius. We are good to go as the big spenders look for their first 3 points of the season. Olympics excited about that draw from Takwa. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse. Together with Astrim Sishope, we are your commentators for tonight's game here at the Accra Sports Stadium, live on Star Times, and we're hoping for an exciting game this evening in Accra.
Yeah, it really is poised for an exciting game here, Nana. Legon Cities will be hoping to get the 3 points, but they are away from home at home today against Olympics, who had a very, very impressive result in that game against Mediama and Takwa. So the battle lines are drawn. It's all set for us to see what the storylines would be today.
The battle lines are drawn and all is set. There the two teams emerge out of the tunnel. Great Olympics in their traditional blue and white strips with Legon Cities wearing black and orange jerseys. Fatal Dawda recently got a caught up to the Black Stars. Was actually in the polls when Sudan beat Ghana in that African Cup of Nations qualifier. He's back and is taking back his place as the #1 for Legon Cities. Joseph Ajay had a very difficult night the other day when they played against Brecum Chelsea. Hopefully, he will make a mark today and give a good impression to his coach. Baba Mahama making his second appearance for Legon Cities, having joined as a free agent before the start of the season. The 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League is into week 2, and this is the second game of the second week matches. Earlier today, it was 11 Wonders who really made a bold statement. After that impressive draw against Asante Kotoko, they picked up all 3 points at the expense of Ebusua Dwarfs in Techiman.
Yeah, they've had an impressive start to the season. And when you listen to the manager, Ignatius, he felt that they should have won against Kotoko. But he would be happy that the team is in flying form and have picked up all 3 points, especially in their home game. That should set the tone for them.
Great Olympics, one of their season campaigners, Philip Niko Josaki, plays at right back, very enterprising, has got the desire and the ability to search forward when he so wishes, and it can be a mouthful for opposing attackers and defenders as well. Great Olympics making one change to the team that got a point against Mediama in Takwa the last weekend. Eric Osebo also maintains his place. There's Samuel Kwe who's been shifted up front. Mudasiru leads the attack together with Abe, and Glasina Wako keeps his place in the heart of the midfield for Great Olympics. For a coach who supervised all the preseason activities, you expect Anna Walker has enough knowledge on this squad. So there's just one change to the Legon Cities team that drew against Brecum Chelsea. Yakubu Mohamed goes to the bench and his place is taken by David Kujo. One change made by Goran Bajakterovic, the Serbian trainer of Legon Cities, trying to keep up with some consistency.
Yeah, it would have been important for Legon Cities here to make sure that they are feeding the balls into the lone striker up front, because in the game that we saw when they played against Chelsea, the chances were not forthcoming, so they struggled in the final third. But for, Olympics now, they are at home. They would have to be taking the game to Legon Cities, and that would now test how good they can be without sitting back.
Ali Musa is the center man. He's assisted on the lines by Kenneth Chunibua Kodua and Sintim Musa. They will be our men for tonight in the match day 2 of the Ghana Premier League. Accra Great Olympics back at their fortress, back at their favorite home grounds. They play against Legon Cities, and so far as Legon Cities remain in the capital, this game will remain a derby.
Yeah.
Great Olympics, Mujib, Abdul Hakim, the former Kotoko, and Kim Faisal Man among those on the bench. Ebenezer Setre, Hamza Zakari, Charles Danso. The interesting fixtures to look up to this weekend. One down, we're clearing one this evening. The interesting games this weekend in Brekum, Asante Kotoko is up. Right, so there's a clash of jerseys. The Great Olympics goalkeeper has the same jersey, the same colors as the referees, and so the game will be delayed for a few minutes because Benjamin Ejari's jersey has same colors as the referees for today's game.
Yeah, it's quite shocking, isn't it? Because all of these things would have been displayed at pre-match, and the match commissioner would have been in there to issue the instructions to the referees to change the apparel or the goalkeeper to change. But to have them run back to the dressing room when the game is supposed to commence, it's disappointing, really is.
Disappointing, unnecessary delays. Obviously, this was avoidable. A lot is expected from Fatal Dauda. He's a leader, captain, and the biggest player in the starting lineup for Legon Cities. After the massive investment that has gone into this Legon City squad, you expect them to hit the ground running. They got a point against Brekum Chelsea, and they'll be hoping they get it right this time, bringing in the likes of Opoku, Atukwe, Kujo, Mahama, Oklu, Brahima. It's been a wholesale recruitment from Legon Cities.
It has, and you wonder if that is extra pressure on the shoulders of these guys, because everybody's expecting them to get onto the pitch and get the job done, because monies have been spent to build the team that they've got now, and also, of course, pressure on the manager to make sure that he's getting the results. But the money has been spent in the transfer market, but the job has to be done on the pitch. It's only a game gone, the second one coming, so maybe they need time to gel.
Baba Mahama never really got to show his full potential to the Ghanaian football fans. Had a brilliant start with Techiman City, attracted interest from Asante Kotoko, made that move from Techiman to Kumasi. He never got to fit the bill in Kumasi, and eventually he was shipped out of Asante Kotoko, free agent. Legon City goes calling, he responds, and we're yet to see whether he can rediscover himself with the Cities.
Yeah, it's an interesting character, Baba Mahama, and for me, one of the things that he didn't quite define about his game in previous teams that he's played it, he wasn't really certain if he was a winger or he was, if you like, a playmaker in number 10, as you like to call it. But now I think he's now setting himself as one that looks like a playmaker of some sort, who's be channeling the passes through the channels for the strikers who are making the run.
So that's the all important Macron balls. The Ghana Football Association struck a deal with Macron to provide balls. But last week there were concerns about the ball, the quality. The goal Diawusi Taylor scored had questions about how, the quality of the ball aided Diawusi to score that goal.
Yeah. I mean, the question marks about the ball has been spoken about the ball, but then again, it's only one goal we've seen where the ball moved mid-air. I'm not sure that is a strong claim for if the ball is light or not, but as the season progresses, I'm sure a lot more will unfold for us to know how the ball travels in air. It's had its own controversies, the ball itself.
Sure. Ready to go. Great Olympics against Legon Cities here at the Accra Stadium. Musa Ali gets ready to signal the two teams into action. Ali whistles. Oklu starts for Legon Cities. Elvis Opoku with a long pass inside. We're going to see the first goal kick. Yes, goal kick for Great Olympics. The Jamal Dean, one of the consistent performers for Great Olympics last term. The trademark powerful free kicks. Dunga's delivery inside. Joseph Ajay's header. Good play from Philip Nico Josaki. Philip Saki loves to hang on to the ball. He's needlessly lost it, but he gets the call from referee Ali Musa for the first free kick of the evening.
Yeah, I thought it was a touch too many. At some point, he didn't know where he was going, and he ran into trouble. Fortunately for him, it was too heavy on him, the tackle, and the referee blows the whistle for a free kick.
Great Olympics, they win the first corner kick of the evening. Early days and Olympics are making their intentions very clear. Corner for Great Olympics. Cities have a player in the box. Seems to have been caught late after going in for that tackle. Looks like it's David Kujo.
Yeah, it wasn't a great corner kick there. You know, even if the player Jamal got to the ball, there was going to be difficult for him to direct it on target. There you see it, not the greatest corner kick, and he got his head onto the ball, but you cannot blame Jamaldin, who was also keeping his eye on the ball. He catches the player, it's a foul, yes, but not his fault, not deliberate, I should say.
Kujo is okay, he's up on his feet. Joined Legon Cities from Asukwa Deportivo, Kumasi Bay's first division side. He starts in this game ahead of Mohamed Yakubu, who drops to the bench after starting against Chelsea, Joseph Ajay. Elvis Opoku. Another pass gone wayward from Elvis Opoku. The second attempt, and he's not gotten to his target man. Bonsu was looking for Manaf Abdul Mudassiru. Awaku gives away possession. Some lovely control from Raphael Oklu, couldn't quite get to the ball. Pressure from Legon Cities. Good touch from Philip Saki. Dunga. Awaku. Saki through the legs of Elvis Opoku. Awaku unable to find Mudasiru. Joseph Ajay. Legon City is playing from our left to right in commentary position. Great Olympics playing from our right to left, defending from the Independence Square end of the pitch.
Yeah,
So
that's the
Baba
foul there,
Mahama.
Baba Mahama to the back of Razak Kasim. And
This can be Mudasiru. Olympics get a corner kick. They've been asking questions of the Legon City's defense in the last 2 minutes.
it's been a very good start by Olympics. The intensity is great, and there you see a lovely pass through the channel. For the pass, the weight behind that ball wasn't quite the right amount of weight to get it onto the favorite side of the attacker. He fell into his back a little bit and he had to wait for the ball, try to hit it. But it's the first corner of the game and it's for Olympics.
Great Olympics with a corner. Osei Bonsu headed away at the near post by Ampedu. Bonsu picks it up again.
Oh, that was the second corner. All to Olympics.
Dunga's pass was meant for Philip Saki. Goes away for a throw into Legon Cities. In the new normal, no football fans at the stadium. But it didn't take the shine away from that game in Obuasi where we witnessed Karela playing that thrilling 2-0 drawn game against Ashanti Gold.
Absolutely, it did not. And several other games that we've seen in the game where Wafa played as well, and in the Kotoko in 11 Wonders game as well. The football has been great. It's only a shame that fans can't see their stars do this, you know. But they've got opportunity of catching it on start time, which is great.
Philip Saki throws it down. Maxwell Abikoshi. Great Olympics deep into enemy territory. Samuel Abeashi can't go past Ampedu, but he does not to keep the ball for Great Olympics. Osei Bonsu! Olympics again looking for opportunities. Awaku twisting and turning. Mudasiru, Osei Bonsu was wayward from the left back. Jonah Atukwe brought down by Nisaki. It's game on, Osei Bonsu. Michael Ampedu will get the ball away for Legon Cities, and there they go. David Kujo. That pass was meant for Jonah Atukwe.
Oh, this is a brilliant start by Olympics, piling all the pressure on Legon Cities and asking them all the questions. Oh, this was the chance that fell to them. You would have wanted it to fall to your attacker, but it fell to the left back. Glasna Waku in this area can be very dangerous because he loves to wiggle through, and then just a little touch can bring him down for that penalty.
Baba Mahama looking for support, and Pedu is calling. Mahama hangs on to it, finally gives it away. Awaku's clearance. Foster Brima, Elvis Opoku. Legon Cities look very comfortable on the ball. Jonah Atukwe, Oklu's header, can't find nobody. Brima sends it back. Opoku. Another wayward pass from Elvis Opoku. Third time asking, third time unlucky.
Yeah, his passing game is not on yet. 3 misplaced passes so far. For his quality, you'd have thought it could have been simple to play them, but he's not on his passing mood now.
Michael Ampedu. Legon Cities. Baba Mahama tries to put one for Ampedu. Looked like a hospital pass for Ampedu from Mahama.
Yeah, Ampedu was trying to hold this run just to make sure that he wasn't running offside or into the offside position. The pass was a little short again, and by the time he arrived, the frame that big tall defender Jamal Dean had covered ricocheted off Ampedu, and it's a throw-in for Olympics.
Ampedu joining from Liberty Professionals after an impressive campaign last term with the Scientific Soccer Lads. Former under 23 right back joins the Big Spenders. That uncharacteristic of Fatal Dauda. Not too sure what happened to him.
This will give us a better angle, but whatever it is, he has no excuse yet. There was absolutely no pressure on him to, you know, miskick it. It happens.
Third corner for Great Olympics. Glaston Awaku, former Hearts of Lions and Brecum Chelsea midfielder, swings one in. It's headed away by Joseph J.
But so far, the corner kicks from Olympics has been disappointing. But they've got a big frame of Jamal Dean and Matthew Dunga in there. They can't go past the first man in the corners. That is something I'm sure the manager will be pointing out to Lassina Awaku.
Go dummy from Awaku! Legon City saved by the woodwork. Impressive from Awaku. Oklu.
Yeah. Again, lovely hold-up play there to link up with Awaku. Good, lovely dummy. And it just swings his boot at it with some powerful shot. Goalkeeper, I thought, was beaten there because the ball was swerving into the top corner.
Great Olympics again. They won't get a free kick. Some good run from Awaku. They have it back here. Is Osei Bonsu. Looking for options. He finds Awaku. Good touch to Mudasiru. Back to Awaku. He's got space. He turns. Awaku! Missing the ball by inches. That was close from Glass and Awaku.
Lovely bit of play by Olympics again, and Legon Cities, they are all over the place. They just can't keep hold of the ball. Awaku, a lovely dummy, a lovely shimmy. Eventually unleashed the strike, but it was just inches wide there. Goalkeeper was a bit worried. You could see on his face. You can see by that movement that he was worried, and they are knocking, and this man right here is orchestrating all of it.
It's 11 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Second match day of the Ghana Premier League. Legon Cities away to Great Olympics here in Accra, and it's goalless after 11 minutes. Osei Bonsu. Abe. Brought down, free kick. Samuel Abe Ashikwe.
Yeah. That's what you want off your wingers if you're a manager. I mean, this is where the foul was. I thought this one was clean to get onto the ball, but the first tackle on him was what I'm sure the referee brought back for the foul. And for Legon Cities now, they can't keep the passes together. They can't play 3 or 4 passes together as a team, and that is worrying because they can't play out of their half, and they've been kept in that half by Olympics. They must improve. They've not settled in this game yet. They've not arrived yet, and so far in Olympics.
It's a free kick for Accra Great Olympics. Gladson Awaku shows interest. Awaku swings one in. No problems for Fatal Dauda. He had it well covered all day.
Yeah. And that was a lovely one by Awaku. It went over the wall, but Fatal Dauda will be disappointed because the wall didn't jump. It didn't even jump to try to stop the ball, and that is what it is there for the wall. But Awaku is in the mood.
Awaku is settling the mood. That spells in the DRC with TP Mazembe. Played in the United States with Phoenix Rising. Free kick for Legon Cities. Ampedu the victim.
We are going to expect this from him throughout the whole 90 minutes. He's got energy. He's got the drive and the power to gallop down the right-hand side. And that is where the wingers in Samuashi would have to be tracking back to help the fullback.
Sabonso with a big boot away. With the Siru up against Joseph J. That's the Olympic striker. Gets to win possession. Mudasiru, how? Did all the work. Final delivery. Awful. Not out of total danger. Great Olympics. Trying to put men forward. Maxwell Niabe. Ajay finally gets to head the ball away for Legon Cities. Jonah Atukwe. Elvis Opoku. This time they might get it right. Nope. Jamaldin comes up with a clearance. And Olympics, they've been delightful so far. Eric Osebonsu. Michelle Otu. Philip Nico Josaki. Quarter of an hour, Great Olympics still probing for the opener. They've looked the better of the two sides so far. Dunga. Asai Bonsu lays one to the path of Awaku, but Ampedu is first to the ball. Cleverly, he allows the ball to travel over the line. It's a goal kick to Legon City.
Yeah, lovely vision there by Dunga to try to play Awaku through, but Ampedu was very much aware of the danger around him, and that is great defending. Great balance, great strength, and the awareness to be in there. But a hint of a corner kick there. The ball might have just come off Ampedu.
Baba Mahama gives it away to Great Olympics, and they will move men forward. Samuel Abeashi and Fatau Daudas quick to react.
All the pressure now is on Legon City, and we've not seen much of Benjamin Ajari yet because the ball has been played in the half of Legon Cities.
Jamaldin. Purposeless from the center back. Joseph Ajay. Good play. Jonah Atukwe scored that goal against Chelsea. Raphael Oklu. Instinctive strike from Raphael Oklu. He didn't have that power.
Yeah. That was a lovely skill to wiggle through the two guys, and when the ball fell to Raphael Oklu, you can understand why he's trying to hit the ball from there. He's been starved. So once the moment arrived, he's trying to slack from range, but that was not troubling the goalkeeper.
Accra Great Olympics, Legon Cities.
Yeah.
So far, they've given us some competitive game. 18 minutes. Jamal Dean. Osebonsu, he's been very busy this evening. Tries to look for Ashi. Joseph Ajay. Under pressure, he's gifted Great Olympics a throw-in. Bonsu's sweet delivery in, but the Siu tried to connect from the near post. Couldn't quite get his target on. Goal kick, Legon Cities.
That was great defending there to get close to the man and make it uncomfortable for him to redirect the ball. But that was a great delivery as well. There you see it. Was never let go to get his proper connection on that ball.
Joined Great Olympics from Agbozome Weavers. He's been tipped for great things at Great Olympics. He did well for them during the preseason. He's coming to replace Razak, who was so useful for Olympics up front last term. Philip Saki tries to put 1-2 for Mudasiru. Clever defending from Joseph Ajay. Good play from the big centre back. He's fouled. Free kick. Corporators Maxonia Bekwe, the captain.
Yeah, there it is. The fouls. Clipping his heels once he runs past him. The big centre half. Ajay. Legon City's midfield hasn't really looked good so far. Grime playing in there with them, and being supported there by Baba Mahama.
Ampedu's cross in is tailed by Jamal Dean. Vincent Edujemfi. 20 minutes in Accra. It's Olympic 0, Legon City 0. Match day 2 of the 2020-21 Ghana Premier League. Jonah Atukwe, Elvis Opoku, Baba Mahama tries to go past his marker, and Legon City. This looks promising. Jonah Atukwe's cross in, Jamal Dean with a timely clearance away for Great Olympics.
Yeah, that was a lovely move there. The first time we've seen this from Legon City in the final third. But take a look at the striker, Rafael Klu here. He just made a run to pull back there and wait for the pass, but the pass never came. Jamal Dean was in a good position as well to clear it and make sure that there was no danger, but it's still in their own half and deep into their half.
Legon City's Francis Ado's throwing. Baba Mahama again. Olympics will defend well. This time is Dunga with the series beaten to the ball by Joseph Ajay. So we have some behind the ball. 69 minutes of action between these two, Ajay and Mudasiru.
Yeah, it's been great to watch so far. Real battle between the two. Who would win?
See how it goes. Here is Jamal Dean. Olympics were 10th in the truncated league. They are 20 points by the week the league got truncated. They had won 3 games. Now here is Nico Joe. Good interception. Corner kick for Great Olympics. So Olympics had won 6 games in the truncated league. They lie 10th and they are 20 points before the league got truncated. So that's the chance.
Yeah.
Corner taken, no problem for Fatal Dauda.
The opportunities have been there for Legon Cities to counter. They've just not made the most of them.
Michel Otu, Mudasiru. Great Olympics. Can they get an opener here? Fatal Dauda was nearly beaten, but you want to give him credit for keeping that out for Legon Cities.
Yeah, I could have gone anywhere, especially after the deflection. But again, Legon Cities cut open so easily by Olympics, and that would be the worry for the manager. And there you see it. That was a deflection. They reacted well to get something on it, but the worry now would be how easy it is for Olympics to get through them, Legon Cities.
They haven't really looked solid at the back. They've been porous. They've left Great Olympics drawing rings around the defense. But for Olympics, there's nothing to show on the score sheet. Michel Otu calling for trouble. Good play, Great Olympics. Ampedu defends well. That's what to keep it in play. That's Matthew Enim Kujo. Made his debut last week when he climbed off the bench to help in that 1-0 drawn game against Chelsea. We'll be looking for another opportunity here against Olympics.
Yeah. That is Ampedu again, who was recovering well. Fortunately for him, on trying to clear the ball, it's a corner kick.
Jamaldin again pops up in the box from Awaku's corner. Had a touch, but not the best of touches. Philip Saki sends a left-footed cross in, no problems for Fatau, who quickly initiates a move from the back. Kujo's header. Baba Mahama. Oh, was looking for David Kujo. Cross blocked by Jamaldin, and Olympics will get a ball out. That's some good work rate from Baba Mahama. But like you rightly said, that midfield has been really bossed by Great Olympics.
Yeah.
And is reflecting in how they are controlling the tempo of the game.
Yeah, Michael Otu and Razak Kasim have just sat in deep there and allowed Glasson Awaku to, string the passes. That was a very, very heavy tackle in there from Foster Brima.
Abdul Manaf Mudasiru is a Great Olympics player seeking medical attention here. After 26 minutes, no goals. Olympics and Legon cities. The big striker is down, but it looks as good, and he's ready to go.
The Olympics have dominated in the first 26 minutes here, but the worry would be not creating clear-cut chances and not finishing the half chances that they've created. This game is a game of fine margins, and just one chance for Legon cities could turn things around for them, and so Olympics would have to make sure that their dominance is counting for something.
Otu. Saki tries to switch to Osei Bonsu. Weightier pass for Bonsu. Francis Ado. Awaku is fighting for every ball, but he's lost this to Ampedu, who tries to put one through for Mahama. And Awaku will get it back. Perfect gift for Awaku. He's got so much space up front, brought down by Ampedu. No questions about this decision.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. Ampedu has got the pace to recover. I'm not sure he needed this touch. It's that touch that the referee sees and blows the whistle, because his man, Elvis Opoku, was closing in on Awaku, and he himself, Ampedu's got the pace to recover well, but once that touch off his shoulder comes, it's a foul, and Awaku, so intelligent, knew that was coming.
Great Olympics, another free kick. 28 minutes at the Accra Stadium, no goals. Great Olympics and Legon cities. Olympics have a free kick, and Osei Bonsu steps up for it, swings one in, heads go up, cleared away by Joseph Ajay. Another opportunity for Olympics. Jamaldin, Glasson Awaku, twisting and turning in the box. He's lost possession. They give away again to Olympics. Jamal. Philip Saki. Legon City seem to be under a lot of pressure from Great Olympics. Francis Ado. Ajay nearly gives that away. Fatau commits himself, and Cities finally get the ball out of danger. Lovely play from Abe. Here is Osei Bonsu. Great Olympics. Will this be the opener? My goodness. Maxoni Abekwe could have just broken the deadlock had he been a bit businesslike.
Yeah, that was a lovely play again, but that is how the build-up started, and he just picked up his man. But take a look at how wide open these two centre-backs are for Legon Cities. And then when the ball arrived to the captain, he had all the time and space to pick that touch. But once he took this first touch, the boys ran away from him a bit. And upon falling, he's trying to connect to it, but he was never going to generate the power to beat the national team goalkeeper at the moment.
The captain came up against his fellow captain, and Fatal reigned supreme. But again, that effort from the Olympics captain wasn't going to trouble Fatal. 30 minutes at the Accra Stadium, Olympics 0, Legon City 0.
Legon Cities have been shockingly poor thus far because they've had opportunities to counter, as I said, but it is the quality of passing that has let them down. That pass to set the counter off, that pass to find the man in the right place to carry the counter forward is what has let them down. And when they've had to defend, they've been porous.
Olympics would want to move forward again. Here they go. This time, the captain commits. That was a foul on Vincent Ejudemfi.
Yeah. The captain of Olympics there, Max Olabekwe, trying to get past his man, but once he got himself between him, the man, and the ball, it was always good difficult to read the ball.
David Kujo. Baba Mahama. Elvis Opoku looking back for Kujo. Awako. It's a long searching pass, clever defending from Ampedu. That ball was meant for Kasim. Well read by Ampedu. 0-2. His experience in the Premier League is beginning to tell in the performance of Olympics, especially in midfield. Michel Otu brought in from Inter Allies after walking in as a free agent. Philip Saki. Awako gives away possession. Here is Elvis Opoku. Another wayward pass from Opoku.
Yeah, and what we've been saying, it's been the quality in passing that has let them down, Legon Cities. Because that wayside, they've done what they want to do. They want to set themselves up to counter, but they've not gone about it well.
Here is Mudasiru. Oh, poor delivery from Samuel Abeashikwe.
Well, they started this game so far. That's put himself in the right place. I'm not sure who was even going to cross the ball to because he had Mudasiru and Awaku count short. He could have just played that pass into them, but that is what you get sometimes if you're not looking before you play the ball. But sometimes you just want to play the ball into a decent area for anybody arriving to connect to it, and on that occasion, it didn't happen.
Free kick for Legon Cities, Joseph Ejay. The big centre back sends one, is turned by Jamal. Here is Elvis Opoku, shot again, blocked by Matthew. Edujemfi to Ampedus, looking for the run of Jonah Tukwe.
Yeah, Legon Cities are relying on these kind of passes and these long balls to send their front men forward. Meanwhile, it's Olympics that are trying to play those passes to, get close to the box. So, two different styles of play. So far, it's been Olympics style that is working, or tactic that is working. Except that the most important statistic is level, goalless.
Elvis. Brought down by Michel Otu, free kick for Legon Cities. Not too sure he's missing Doma already. Elvis Opoku having signed from Adriana Stars.
Yeah. The tackle coming through here. He arrived late. The referee so far has kept his cards in his pocket, trying to manage the game quite well. He's a lucky man not to go into the ball because the tackle came in very late, nowhere near the ball. Caught his man. Luckily for him, though, it didn't look too dangerous because his foot was very much on the turf. No high beats there.
Ampedu. Mahama. Back to Ampedu. Lovely stuff from Legon City. Seems to be finding their rhythm now. Here is Baba Mahama up against Jamal Dean. Mahama sends a cross in. Nobody to do the correction. This one came in rather late and high from David Kujo.
Yeah. Very impressive from Baba Mahama here to engineer the space and sending the cross. It was a powerful one. Had great height on it, but he would have wished it fell to Oklu, who's got some height about him to connect onto that one, but he came short into the near post, and Kujo, who was on the far post, just couldn't climb above the ball to direct it on target. But they'll take positives from this move.
Asai Bonsu. Lovely pass to his captain, Maxonia Bekwe. Sends a long cross, Mudasiru! Clever defending from Joseph Ajay. That's some spectacular defending from the gangling centre back.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. At the point, I thought he was beaten here. The captain that picked up very, very good ball. And at this point, I thought he was beaten, but take a look at that stretch for that big man to get onto that ball. That is a tackle that has saved Legon Citizen. That is one that the manager will be pleased about.
Joseph Ajay played for Legon Cities in their days as one All-Stars. Traveled out to India. He's back in already. He's fitted in well. Opoku. Ampedu. Mahama. Good play from Baba Mahama. Loses out. In the last 3 minutes, Legon City have looked more purposeful.
Yeah, they're beginning to find some rhythm about their game, and they are putting passes together, trying to force issues in the final third. It has not created those clear-cut chances for the striker, who looks isolated now because he's trying to fall deep or fall short for those passes, but he has to be in and around Jamal Dean to cause the problems.
AJ. Atukwe. Ampedu. That's all to get to Atukwe. Sends across Jamal Dean. Went in too early. Awaku. Asai Bonsu. Brahima. He's had little to do, Benejari, in the first half in post for Great Olympics. Some good play from the Olympics captain. Sends across Mudasiru again. He misses out. Again, there was a challenge from Joseph Ajay.
It's been a very interesting battle between Mudasiru and Joseph Ajay.
Awaku. Back heel to Abe. Mudasiru. That's what to keep him in check. Headed down by Oklu, but Atukwe was late. Clearance by Benejari in post for Olympics. Dujenfi will get back to his goalkeeper. Last time these two teams met on the 14th of February, it was a 1-0 drawn game. They shared the spoils. And after 40 minutes here in Accra, in the 2020-21 season, it's goalless between Olympics and Legon cities. Mudasiru. Michel Otu! He won trouble for Tao.
Again, Mudasiru doing what a striker has to do. A centre forward, old-fashioned centre forward, holding up to the play and inviting others into it. Look at how he shows that defender, holds on to the ball and sets his man up. A lovely drive, but right through the throat, right down the throat of the goalkeeper, who wasn't panicking at all, but got his full body behind that ball. But that was lovely centre forward play by Mudasiru.
Michel Otu. Not too sure what he wanted to do. We're 4 minutes away from the end of the first 45 minutes. Brahima, Ampedu, Jonah Atukwe. So many touches on the ball, Atukwe. Brahima gives away possession. Samuel Ashikwe finds Maxwell Abe. Mudasiru hangs on to it again. He's got brute strength. He gets a free kick right in the Dean. He was inviting the tackle. He knew what he wanted, and rightly so he gets it. Free kick. Elvis Opoku is complaining.
Yeah, it's been troublesome for Legon Cities all evening. Showing great strength. Reminds me of former Hartlepool striker Kofi Koji. Brahima looks like the man in the same frame, and that is exactly what he does here. He knew what he wanted. He knew what he was looking for. Showed great strength, and once he felt that contact, he knew that with a man like Awaku in the team, there is a chance.
Legon Cities. A lot of players exited after the last truncated campaign, and they brought in some quality, some would say, slightly ahead of the ones that exited. Ms. Bao Adams is gone, Sadiq Sule is gone, Sam Ortiz, Abdul Rahman, Benjamin Okai, Eben Ezani Ade, Eric Tommy, Bismarck Owusu, Abdullah Tiba Bubakari, Abdul Wahab Hanan. All of them have gone in midway for some top signings like Mahama, Brahima, Atukwe, Ampedu, Enim Kujo, John, Ejay. A totally new team.
Fortunately for them, that he's not telling on the pitch yet.
Glasson Awaku has got what it takes to turn this into a glorious moment. And Eric Osebonsu has a left foot that can bring smiles to the faces of the Olympics faithful. But he's left Awaku to do this. Glasson Awaku! Sweet! And it's a glorious moment for Glasson Awaku. It was obvious. I saw it coming, and Awaku has made it 1-0 for Great Olympics.
And they've deserved this, haven't they? It's not more than they've deserved. Great Olympics. They've been the better side so far. And finally, they've got that goal. And this image tells you the whole story. The team celebrating together with the manager. They play together as a team. And the ball hints of a deflection in there as the ball went through the walls. The wall that didn't do its job, ricocheted off a couple of players and wrong-footed the goalkeeper, Fatau Dauda. But they've deserved it. And this man, Glasson Awaku, has looked lively all evening, and he's deserved that goal as well. It's 1-0 Accra Great Olympics. Trouble for Legon Cities.
Don't they deserve to be ahead? rightly so, they do deserve this lead. They've been the better of the two sides. They asked more questions of the Legon City defense. They dictated the pace. They bossed the midfield. They looked solid in defense.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of time. And Awaku, the man in the number 10, has made it 1-0 for Great Olympics. So I think 2 minutes additional time here at the Accra Sports Stadium.
And no one, it needs no telling that Legon City will have to improve. And on the stroke of halftime, when they've considered the goal, the halftime pep talk, the talk changes for both sides because Cities would have to be chasing the game, and Olympics now do have a goal in hand. Would they go for more, or they would manage the game? Interesting second half ahead.
A while ago was a confirmation of the 2 minutes additional time by the fourth referee, Martins Akuji. Baba Mahama. Michael Ampedu. Lost the search forward. Ampedu takes matters into his own hands and he gets a throw in from his effort. Jamal has been solid in defense for Olympics.
He really has. He's been solid.
Foster Brima goes past his marker. Want to take up responsibility. Ampedu is calling. He gets it.
And that is shocking because in the final third, when they found themselves in crossing areas with 4 players in the box, you should be sending the ball into the box for the attackers to try to feed on them, but they've held on to it into on this side of the area of the pitch where you can't create a chance from there. And it sums up their first half, doesn't it?
Clearly, it has summed up their first half. They haven't looked impressive. With the big names in the squad, you'd have expected that Legon Cities would be performing much better than they've done against Olympics, but it's the men in blue and white who have had a commanding presence so far in the game. Ampedu's delivery, tricky one, no problem for Benjamin Ejari in post for Benjamin Asari in post for Great Olympics. Referee Ali Musa whistles for the end of the first half here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Goalkeeper Benjamin Asare hasn't had any work to do. It's been Fatau Dauda who has picked up a ball from his net already. Well taken free kick by Glasson Awako. Will be disappointed to have picked up the ball from his net, Fatau Dauda. Halftime score at the Accra Sports Stadium. Accra Great Olympics 1, Legon Cities 0. Second of match day 2 of the Ghana Premier League. Live on Star Times at the channel 247. It is a derby in Accra. Legon Cities away to Great Olympics. Both teams coming into this game from similar fortunes during the weekend. Olympics picked up a point in that game in Takwa. And then Legon Cities also got a draw here against Brecum Chelsea. And Olympics looked the better side right from the onset with Mudasiru teeing up Glasson Awaku here. And he did well, dummied his marker, sent in a shot and he missed the post by inches.
Yeah, he's been lively all evening and he's been creating all the problems for Legon Cities. And this was one of the occasions where he troubled them, just missed the target by inches, skipping past the players with ease, and before unleashing the strike, keeper was worried.
Awaku tried his luck from this free kick. That was close.
Yeah.
So from this point, you could get a signal that Awaku has something up his sleeves.
Yeah, it was getting closer and closer from this point, but then again, the keeper would have been disappointed with the wall. They didn't do their job.
Legon City came through with this one from Rafael Oklu, an instinctive but not a troublesome drive from the former Elmina Sharks goal poacher.
And he's had nothing at all to feed on. It was one of the occasions that he tried his chance, but it was a long way out and difficult to generate any kind of power at all.
So Mudasiru, it was Abe who tried to get this one in. It took a deflection of Ampedu, and Fatau did well to react in the manner in which he did.
He did.
Eric Osebonsu busy all evening. Again, an opportunity, and the captain of the side, Maxoni Abekwe, could have done better with this.
Yeah, he could have done better. He didn't quite control the ball into his stride. That touch and the way he was falling made it difficult for him to generate any kind of power at all. the power in which he showed here.
Great strength. And Joseph Ejay again, giving that bit of touch at the back of Mudasiru. So this is the moment the free kick arrived.
Yeah.
And at this moment, Awaku says thank you and bends it at the blind side of Fatau Dauda. Olympics up by 1-0, and the goal came at a time Olympics needed it, just a few seconds to the break.
Yeah. A goal that changes the team talk in that dressing room, because the goal came on the stroke of halftime. And he's deserved it, Glasson Awaku. He's been fantastic for them all evening. All Olympics have been the better side, and they deserve the goal as well. Lovely way to end the half for Olympics, and for Legon Cities, a horrible way to end it.
Horrible way to end it. From the perspective of Great Olympics, it's been joyful, but for Legon Cities, it's been disastrous. Halftime score, Great Olympics 1, Legon Cities 0. Better of the possession for them, 55. 4 shots on goal against 1 from Cities, and there are five corner kicks. Olympics have had none. No yellow cards so far. And halftime score at the Accra Sports Stadium. Match day 2 Ghana Premier League. Second game of the day is Olympics 1, Legon City 0. Welcome back for the second half of the game between Great Olympics and Legon Cities here at the Accra Sports Stadium. It's the men in blue and white, the Dade boys, who are leading from that first half free kick converted by Glasson Awaku. Legon Cities will be hoping to get things right. They didn't look an impressive side at all during the first half of the game. With the kind of quality that they possess, you'd have expected them to have given Great Olympics a good run for their money. But it's Olympics who look the better side, the most impressive side, and the team that obviously got on the score sheet after the end of the first half. We're looking forward to a very competitive second half between these two here at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely so, because Legon Cities never came to the party in that first half, and for Olympics, they would even be disappointed that they didn't take a lot more of the chances that they created in that first half, and one would be happy that they had that goal going into the break. But for Legon Cities, then they have to start getting together and then finding solutions to that problem in that middle of the park, because that is where Olympics has really dominated. And the second half, they really have to improve if they have to pick anything out of this game.
Back for second half. Both teams ready. Few minutes, few seconds. Ali Musa will signal the two teams back into action for second half football. Legon Cities began the first half. Is a turn of Great Olympics to get us underway for second half of the Ghana Premier League 2020-2021. Second game of week 2. Techiman 11 Wonders, performing wonders in Techiman by beating Ebusuan Duos 2-0. And it's Olympics who are leading 1-0 here at half-time. Michel Otu will get Olympics restarting this game, and Awaku from the onset wants to push it forward. Jono Atukwe beaten to the ball by Philip Nisaki, and Adonoya wins the throw-in for Legon Cities.
Yeah. Olympics want to start the way they ended the first half. playing most of those balls in the half of Legon City and piling the pressure on them in their own half. For Legon City, they have to now begin to be a little bit more careful about their passing. There's a foul though, but the referee says it was an offside first. And as I was saying, Legon City would now have to take a lot more care of the ball when they are in possession, find their men in the right place, because they've had opportunities to counter. What has been lacking has been that quality of passing, that quality to set the counter attack starting. If they can sort that one out, I'm sure they'll ask a lot of questions of Olympics.
Great Olympics. Have a man down, and that's the striker, Abdul Mudassiru Manaf. The big man is up. From the World Cup through to the African Cup of Nations, Fatau Dauda is still getting strong in the domestic league. Been in Nigeria with the Yimba and Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Osebonsu. Mudassiru. Edu Jemfi finds Foster Brima. Mahama. Frank Ampedu. Michael Ampedu. Ejarif Asari forced to come in with this pass. Atukwe is beaten to the ball by Saki. Lovely pass to his captain, Abekwe, Michel Otu, Glasson Awaku, Eric Osebonsu. Kwe tried a skill, but Ampedu wouldn't be beaten by that trick.
Yeah. Again, shades of what we saw in that first half. Legon City's misplacing passes, while Olympics taking their time to pick the passes together and create opportunities.
Joseph Ejay. Saki. Go past to Mudassiru. Good turn from the striker. Holds up while Awaku will calm down play. Michel Otu dinks one in. Audacious and straight to goalkeeper Dauda.
Yeah, you can see what he was trying to do. He's trying to pick that pass for his keeper. But it wasn't.
He's been solid in midfield, Michel Otu.
Yeah,
his passing ability has been brilliant.
He's been great. His work rate has been good. And it's about one of the reasons why Lovely's killed there also. It's one of the reasons why Awaku is enjoying all the space in moving forward, because he knows that he's got solid men in Otu and Razak in midfield to keep it tight for him.
Here is Razak. Jamal Dean. Oh, that was a good through pass. Well read by Adunoya and Atukwe. Mahama. Adunoya. Elvis Opoku. Edu Jemfi will play from the back. Good turn from Foster Brima, but he ain't going anywhere. Ampedu is late for it, and Dunga equally puts it out. It's a throw-in for Legon Cities.
I thought the pass came late to Ampedu instead, because Ampedu had made a move and the pass should have gone, but Brima hesitated a bit, and when he was ready to send that pass in,
substitution for Legon Cities. Fadili Yusuf, one of the old guys kept from the last campaign, comes in to replace Adunoya. Legon Cities, no problem for Benasari.
That's the chance there, Oklu. Again, with no real support. Ball only finds the goalkeeper, finds nobody in the box to, play that one into. They seem to lack ideas when they get into the final third. They don't have the options. They don't have men making themselves available to pick a pass. But when Olympics have played the ball into their big tall striker in Mudassiru, he's always got options to feed off or send the balls back to. On this occasion, his tackle was a little too strong on this man.
Ampedu wants to steal some yards for the throw-in, caught by Ali. Awaku. With the Ciro's touch, throwing the Legon Cities. Elvis. Atukwe's touch, looking for Mahama. Oh, good play from Razak. Tries to put one through for Kwe. He's brought down. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. No questions about it. You want to give Razak absolute credit for, you know, getting that ball to
Well, it wasn't the
his
best
man
of
in the
passes,
box.
but the body language of the defender, Yusuf, who just came on, was woeful and was really wrong. Take a look at him from this shot, actually. His body language was very poor. We couldn't quite get this one here. But his body language was very poor. He didn't know where to face. He wasn't on his favorite side and was always in behind the man. And once he makes that collision in the box, he's asking for trouble, which is penalty.
So, Great Olympics have a penalty. Captain of the side, Maxwell Abekwe, steps up for this penalty. Olympics with an opportunity to make it 2. He steps forward. That's a good goal from the captain of the side. Fatal got the direction, but the power was just too much. Olympics up by 2 goals to 0.
Yeah,
Maxwell Abekwe.
Starting the second half just like the end of the first. Starting the second with a goal like the end of the first with a goal. Goalkeeper Fatal Dauda gets right, but the power and the precision in the penalty from the skipper was just perfect. There was no way he was going to get to that ball. That was beautifully taken, very well taken penalty. Very short run up to the ball, but the precision, the power, the height, everything about it, perfect. And it's a perfect scoreline now for Olympics, and they deserved it.
So, it was his younger brother who won the penalty, and he steps up to convert it. Samuel Abe Ashikwe invited that tackle from Fadili Youssef.
Yeah.
And his brother says, thank you, young bro. Converts it, and it's 2-0. And he's a product of Atram Divisa, the famous academy that produced Christopher Nete, who recently got a call-up to the Black Stars with some sterling displays by Asante Kotoko in last season's campaign.
It's fast becoming one of the academies that are producing real talent for the local scene.
Elvis, Adriana Stars' former captain, puts one in for Cities, and Jonah Atukwe, he's looking for a reaction. Corner for Legon Cities. Elvis swings one in. It's ballooned away by Michel Otu.
Lovely hold-up play there by the skipper. He knows that he's the only man there, and you know it was going nowhere, but he knew he had to take that foul to get the rest there, and that is lovely play. Poor play there by Opoku as well. But you know his man was going nowhere. He was outnumbered. But Accra Great Olympics, on the back of that result they achieved in Takwa against Midiama, well, if you thought it was a fluke, they are beginning to give you the answers. They've arrived this season.
Frustration beginning to set in for Elvis Opoku. He gets a yellow card. Yellow card for Elvis Opoku, midfielder for Legon Cities, former captain of the Joanna Stars. Nobody saw this move coming from Doma to Accra. But when the big spenders are talking, anything is possible. Free kick for Great Olympics.
Look how high the fullbacks get there for Olympics. That is Philip Saki, who's supposed to be the right back, but it's very much high in that position there, and very much in the faces of Legon Cities, and that is how high they get.
Samuel Abekwe's delivery. Hope. Was a bit late for that ball.
Yeah.
Captain and goal scorer. Second goal scorer, I should say, Maxwell Abekwe.
Nothing happening so far for Legon Cities, and trouble there for the manager Goran. He's got talent, he's got quality in the side. He's just not found that formula that can get them to play their best yet.
Already you've heard about calls of his head. Many say he's not the right man for this job, he should be kicked out, but some say it's early days yet.
Yeah, you've got to feel for the manager. All of these players are new. We all know they had a very short pre-season. They've not really had time to work together, but that is how the sport is. It's a ruthless one, this sport.
That's him.
Yeah. It's a ruthless one in the sport. The time is not going to wait for you.
So let's see what happened between Opoku and Osei-Bonsu. He went past Ralph Foster Brima, claiming there was a deliberate foul on him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a foul. I thought he actually stepped on that ball, and that is where he got tripped. There was no contact there from Opoku, but the referee gives it, and the big man lines up.
The big man lines up, so at least we're about to see one of those ferocious drives from Kamal Dean. This time he goes for a curler. That uncharacteristic of him. He's not known with this technique.
I mean, when you see Jamal Dean behind the free kicks, you are thinking about a shot. You're not thinking about, going for a curl. He tried a technique that didn't quite work. It is a difficult one, really. It's one that ball has to fly and then dip in time. It's a difficult skill that he chose to apply. It didn't work. Good luck to him next time.
Legon Cities, they've looked ordinary. Edu Jemfi up against Abekwe. Substitution for Legon Cities. Cephas Doku is coming in to replace Baba Mahama. So the intention at this moment is very clear. They want to throw the men out.
Yeah.
He's an out-and-out striker and he's coming in for an attacking midfielder, Cephas Doku.
Absolutely, and straight away it's going to be a 4-4-2 for them. Cephas Doku is going to be playing alongside Rafael Klu, and it's going to be Brahima and Elvis Opoku in that middle of the park. Jonah Atukwe and Kujo will be the wingers in this game. So, from henceforth. And Oklu now has a partner. Will it work?
Oklu now has a partner, is a two-man up front for Cities at this stage with some 31 minutes to go. They've thrown one man up front to join Rafael Oklu. Fadili will be thinking about the penalty he committed.
Yeah, like I said, he had his body shape all wrong in the way he set himself up to start the chase. Got on the wrong side of his man and committed himself too much.
Olympics probing for the third. Elvis will get that one away from danger area. Here is Elvis Opoku. David Kujo is giving that away. Ampedu does want to fight back and win possession for Cities. Edu Jemfi to Brahima. Elvis Opoku. Nothing seems to be working. They are unable to keep possession for 30 seconds. Michel Otu.
That's also credit to Olympics. Take a look at how they press when the ball comes into their own half, and take a look at numbers flooding forward in the final third. That is it. That is what they've been doing all game, pressing high up the field to force errors of Legon Cities. On that occasion, that was great play there by Opoku.
Another wayward pass from Elvis Opoku. He's had just a very terrible evening in terms of his passing game.
Yeah.
Mohamed Yakubu, another striker who started that game against Mrekum Chelsea, has come in for David Kujo.
Substitution for Legon Cities. Player number 22, David Kujo is out. Equals player number 11, Mohamed Yakubu.
Yakubu joins the fray with some 29 minutes to go. Let's see what he brings into this game. This time Fadili gets it right.
Very solid tackle there. He seemed to have left him for dead, but that was it. Once he took that right there.
Same player who won the penalty.
Ball, yeah.
He won't take any chances.
Absolutely. That was a solid tackle. Solid tackle.
He looks disappointed, steps in, and in less than 5 minutes, he commits a foul that results in a penalty and a second goal against his side. A lot of things will be running through his mind at this stage for Dili Yusuf.
Yeah, sometimes when you are off the bench, if your warm-up doesn't really go well, it takes a couple of seconds or minutes for you to hit your strides or get into your groove and meet the tempo of the game. And if you're not careful, within that time that you're not hitting your strides, you can be all over the place and be causing so many problems for your side. On that occasion, like I said, his body language was poor. He was a shade late on the rock side of his man. Clattered into him, was just too close, clattered into him and give the referee no option than to point to the spot.
Yakub Mohamed, who just joined the fray, one of the new recruits from Wad Dark Horses FC. Matthew Foridunga has formed a very solid partnership with Jamal Dean Haruna at the back. Philip Nisaki has given the ball away. Legon Cities. Sefas Doku sends it back. Flag goes up. Yeah. Offside against Jonah Tukwe.
Yeah, way offside, glaring it off.
Benasari is looking for the big man with the Siru Abdul Manaf. Jonah Tukwe, blocked by Philip. Oh, lovely play from Kwe. Was trying to put one in for Mudasiru.
Yeah.
Work rate awesome, end product 0.
He'll be disappointed, but that was lovely skill to skip past his man. Yeah, lovely skill, just gets past him. And that's Meg. Left him for dead, but he knew what he wanted to do. The idea was great. The execution never quite really came to fruition, but it excites everybody who's seeing this.
Michael Ampedu tries to play the 1-2 with Oklu. Atukwe again with an opportunity. Sefas Doku sets up one for Fadili. His shot flies high and it goes wayward. Goal kick. Great Olympics.
Yeah, this looks much better from them. The number of bodies they've committed forward because of the attacking substitution that the manager has made. But they need to get closer to the goalkeeper. They need to create these chances. They need to get these balls to the likes of Oklu and the like of the strikers on the pitch. With the left back.
It's Doku against Jamal Dean. He won't take chances, Jamal. "65 minutes. Olympics 2, Legon City 0. Goals from Maxwell Abekwe in the second half, and the opener from Awaku's delightful free kick. Free kick against Foster Brima, bringing down glass in Awaku.
I thought Awaku ran himself into trouble there, and once he felt a little touch on him, he had to make the most of it. There it is, nothing in that. I thought he won the ball fairly, but as I said, Awaku, with the experience he has got, he knew he had played himself into trouble. Once he felt a little niggle, he had to announce his presence and tell the referee that he was in trouble. Nothing is wrong with him, he'll be fine, I can assure you.
Awaku will be fine, that's an assurance. 66 minutes.
Surely questions will be asked of Legon City's spending in the transfer window. Did they get the right players? Did they solve the problems, really? Did they just bring in players? All the questions will be there. Did they have the right manager?
Fadili swings one in. Razak made a mistake, but Legon City will still hang on to this. Foster Brima. Ampedu. Yakub Mohammed. Kodo Sebonsu. Decision goes in favor of Great Olympics. That was a late challenge on Sebonsu.
Yeah. Again, it's that hand. Just that hand across the shoulder that the referee spots, and it's always going to be a foul because the players around this time, they're beginning to get tired, and once they feel that touch, they're always going to go down.
So Arno Walker, speaking to Michael Yabua, he got off the bench to score against Mediama last weekend. He's capable of adding a third. Will this be the third? This is Mudasiru. That's some good defending from Edu Jemfi. Threw himself into the way of Mudasiru. And Edu Jemfi suffered from that tackle. Fatalda is asking him to pick up himself. Doku fails to make a touch. Aseb Bonsu, Jamal Dean. Good play from Great Olympics. Michel Otu. Matthew Foridunga. Oh, beautiful pass from Awaku. He was in a hurry with that delivery. Philip Nisaki.
Yeah.
Should have taken his time.
That was a brilliant ball.
Sefas Doku. Jonah Tukwe. Wants to cut him before he delivers. He wants to set up one for Ampedu. Clever play from Sami Abe. Awaku slows down the game so nicely. What about that for a dribble?
He's enjoying himself.
Yes, he's done it for too long.
He's enjoying himself, but there's still a lot of minutes to be played in this game, and leading by 2 goals to 0 can be very tricky. You don't know whether to go for more or to manage the game, but when the opponent gets one back, they are very much in the game.
I see Awaku telling him to be serious because with 20 minutes to go, it's still a long way to go. Mudasiru fouled his marker. Referee decided to let go. Maxwell Abekwe.
Yeah, that's the skill that you saw there. Lovely one.
This is the second time he's doing this in the game.
Yeah, and to the same player as well.
Fadili is in trouble.
Yeah.
Substitution for Accra Brazilians.
So the captain and the second goal scorer,
Player number 7,
Maxoni Abekwe, is making way for Michael Yaboa. Matthew Ofori will pick up the duties in his absence as the captain of the side.
He's done a
He
captain's
stepped up,
job.
so that's the penalty. Well converted. Fatal got the direction, but
Yeah.
hey,
He's played well today, the captain. He's led by example. He's done the captain's job. It's now time for him to watch on from the bench.
Michael Yaboa, another product from Atram Divisa, and he scored last week in Takwa from Awaku's assist. Good touch from Mudasiru, Awaku. Philip Nico Josaki shows too much of the ball and he gives it away. Jonah Atukwe, good turn from the former Brecum Chelsea man. Ampedu to Yakubu. Yakubu with a drive, good save from Ben Asare. That was a striker's way to go about things, and Asamoah Gyan is applauding the efforts of Yakubu.
Well, that was a lovely strike, powerful one. Goalkeeper hasn't had so much to do, but he was on another occasion to parry that away.
I was speaking to Asamoah Gyan before the game began, asking him when he was going to step up and play for Legon Cities. He admitted to me he's still working on his fitness level. Hopefully, he can step up by the next week.
Yeah, and that was a strike again. So much power behind the back, goalkeeper in the right place at the right time. And talking about the strike, you need a striker like Asamoah Gyan in this side now, because he wouldn't wait for the opportunities like maybe Oklu and the likes would wait for them. He's a real footballer who can also create these chances from half chances. So maybe they would need his services, but they can't rush him. I mean, a fit Gyan is better than one that has injury problems.
Fadili with an ambitious one. 72 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Anna Walker's men are leading the Royals, Legon Cities, by 2-0. Matthew Ofori's header first to the ball. Again, he's very alert and quick to react to Ofori. Heavy body check from Kasim Razak.
Yeah. Again, it's unnecessary.
Oklu tried a spectacular. Again, Ampedu tries the run from the right side. Jamal comes down, play, and Awaku. Lovely turn from Awaku. He goes past Elvis Opoku. He left him chasing his shadows. Fadili. Safas. Yakubu. Safas Doku. Shot blocked by Kasim Razak. Some pressure from Legon Cities.
Yeah, much better. But Safas then had an opportunity to play his man through. He decided to hang on to the ball and try the shot.
Cities looking purposeful. Jonah Atukwe wants to cut him before. By the time he does that, the firepower has already come down. He's not learning from that. The second time he's tried unsuccessfully.
Yeah, they are desperate. The signs are there that desperation setting in for the players. They are trying from all angles, trying to shoot from range, trying to, feed on the half chances that are coming or any chance at all. And it's not working.
It's 15 minutes to go. Legon City's down by 2-0 in Accra. So that's the foul. Joseph Ejay. There was a push right behind Mudasiru. And the Olympics fans call him Lukaku.
Well, it's a big man, isn't he? He's a big man. He holds that play well. It's a nuisance to the centre backs. That is what he's done today. Bringing others into the game.
First taste of Premier League football, having joined from Division 1 side, Agbozome Weavers. So far, he's given a good account of himself in Premier League football.
Yeah. He's been wasteful at times, but his overall play hasn't been entirely bad. He can always improve on his goal scoring ability, but his physicality and the way he's using it is something good. I'm sure the manager will be happy about.
Saki's clearance. Again, Mudasiru proving a mouthful for Joseph Ejay. Michael Yeboah. Oh, good work rate. He gets a free kick from his effort. Fresh energy. He's giving the Dujemfi some good run for his money.
Yeah. It's been a difficult time for Legon Cities, especially their defenders, because of the pace and trickery that Olympics have got in their front men.
Sure.
Maxwell Abakwe and his brother, the physicality of Mudasiru, the vision and skill of Glaston Waku.
Free kick taken. Anytime Oklo has got the ball, you can tell he's hungry, he's eager to do something. He's got the desire and the passion, but unfortunately he's lacked the supplies and he's been left a pale shadow of himself up front without any supplies.
Yeah.
Poor first touch from Sefas Doku. Mudasiru again against Joseph Ejay. Too casual from Awaku. Brahima. He gives it away. Here is Osebonsu. Now Michael Yeboah up against Ampedu. Awaku. Olympics look comfortable at this stage. They're not in a hurry to do anything extraordinary. Mudasiru nearly got a better of Joseph Ejay. He goes down again.
Yeah, he's worked hard today, Mudasiru. Beginning to feel it in his muscles. Because, I mean, signs of cramps there for the man. There again, take a look at how he's shouldering his man off. That is it
for him.
Yeah. And against two very physical centre backs, the new JFE and Joseph Ejay, he's been fantastic, I must admit. That is a sign of cramp.
Edu Jemfi and Joseph Ejay did not look that bad in defense. You can hardly fault them for any of the goals that have been conceded in tonight's game. Edu Jemfi joined from Young Apostles. This is Awaku's free kick, expertly taken, the Under-20 World Cup winner. Anytime he steps up, you can tell the difference in the quality of his display.
Yeah, he's got quality about him. And once he has the ball in and around this area, it wasn't a particularly beautiful free kick, but it deflected and wrong-footed the goalkeeper, Infatao Dauda. But he's been exciting all evening. He's been orchestrating the moves for Olympics. He's enjoying his game here, and he had a very good game as well in Midiama last time out, assistant for the equalizer. And here he is getting a goal off his own.
80 minutes, 10 more minutes to go from the Accra Sports Stadium. It's Great Olympics 2, Legon City 0.
for Legon Cities now, the pressure is going to be a lot more intense now from tomorrow, unless something happens in the last 10 minutes. So far, there's been no sign of a team that, I mean, on the pitch, the ambitions on the pitch doesn't match the ambition they showed off it in the transfer. And as I said, the questions are being asked about the quality of players they bought. Were they the right players? Are they effective? Can they do the job? All of these questions are coming in. Is the manager the right man for the quality of players that he's got? You know, several questions about the club now, but only results would answer them. Only results.
Raphael Oklu. Joseph Ajay. Vincent Edu Jemfi. Yakub Mohammed. Michel Otu steals possession. Here is Razak. Awaku. Otu. Razak. Philip Nisaki. Tries to put one through for Samuel Abe Ashi. That battle is still ongoing. Abe Ashi and then Fadili Yusuf.
Yeah, finally, Fadili gets the better of Abe.
Al Hassan Sunday is coming in for Mudasiru Abdul Manaf.
Yeah, he's had a good game.
He's had a decent game.
He's not scored, but he's been a handful for the defenders. Abu Jemfi and Joseph Ajay, he's been causing all sorts of problems, making runs to give the opportunity for his other players to fill in the space.
Sunday Al Hassan, Sporting 23, joined from Kim Faisal in the off-season. Let's see what it brings into the game in the final 8 minutes. That's a good one. Brilliant goal from Samuel Abeashi. Magnificent strike. Great Olympics. On cloud 9 certainly.
It's a magnificent hit from his left foot. But again, this sums up Legon City's evening. It's been turning into trouble. I thought he had won the ball from here. And
So
there
it
you
was
see,
Yakub Mohammed who lost
he was
possession.
turning into trouble. And once he was pressed and then chased and then closed down, as they've done all evening, the opportunity presented itself. And the way he lashed through that ball, always difficult for the goalkeeper to get to it. Absolute quality about the finish. The pressing is what did it for them. It's the attitude of these players, the hunger of these players, the desire of these players to keep playing, to keep pressing, to keep making the chances. And once that opportunity was presented to him, he scored a goal that on the night has capped off what has been an incredible performance by the young man. Ashi.
He won the penalty. He's come up with some exciting moment of nutmegging his opponents.
Yeah.
Then he comes up with this belter of a goal. Is Olympics 3, Legon Cities 0 on 84 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Dade boys are on fire.
Yeah, doesn't look good for Legon Cities at all, because the attitude of the players, the way they've played tonight, a lot has to change. A lot has to change, and I'm sure that is going to be the message to them from the manager and from everybody associated with the club and their fans.
Already it's 2 games
Yeah.
for match day 2, and it's 5 goals already. 2 for Wonders in Techiman and 3 for Great Olympics here, with 6 more minutes to go at the Accra Sports Team. There's a yellow card for Philip Niko Josaki. That was needless for time wasting.
Yeah, but I've got to give credit to Olympics with the way they approached the game today. They started playing the game on the front foot, and right through the game, they've been on the front foot. They've never sat back to invite pressure on themselves. They've always looked for the opportunities to go offensive. And their reward is what is on the scoreline, 3 goals.
Sefas Doku, some needless antics from the striker, puts Edu Jemfi in trouble, and Ampedu can't go past Osei Bonsu.
Legon City do have a problem area in their team. It's on left back position. You already seen a lot of the goals that they've conceded, though. It's in that position that they've come from, and they have to sort it out because Ampedu has been superb for them on the right backside, but that team is like a machine. Every part of it has to function well before, you know, it gets to deliver effectively.
They are Jabila playing from that position as a wing back the other season, where I see can be found in the lineup.
Yeah, Jabila is nursing an injury. We understand it's going to be missing out on the start of the season. That is why he's missing that first 2 games. Hopefully he's back in time to offer an option as well. They need all hands on deck.
So Awaku steps up for the first goal, and he perfectly bends it in, aided by deflection along the way though.
Absolutely, wrong-footed the goalkeeper who seemed to have gauged it right. You can see the excitement from the dugouts. But at this time they were dominating. All they needed was the goal. And once they got that goal, it set them off to go on and get the other 2 goals.
And in fairness, Legon City have not really given Great Olympics any better opposition.
Yeah. And it's all around the pitch. In attacking wise, they've not fashioned enough together in the final third. And in midfield is where I think there's a real problem, where Brahima and Opoku seem to be very similar in the way they've played. Something has to change. And Baba Mahama, who's supposed to be the one feeding the balls into the striker as well, hasn't really had it going for him.
If he couldn't lack the creative spark in the attack, was thinking Matthew and Kujo could have been a perfect addition to this attacking line, but he's on the bench and substitutions have been completed.
I mean, he's young. He has to be managed. I think when you look at the physicality of that Olympics back line, and Philip Saki, Jamal Dean, Dunga, you know, it's why I'm sure the manager is thinking that let's manage this young chap. But the physicality up there is at the back for Olympics very high.
Fadili Youssef, Jonah Atukwe, he gets a free kick, foul by Michel Otu. Disappointing face of Baba Mahama.
Yeah, Philip Saki there, too tight to his man and grabbing him.
Ben Asare makes a haste of it. He does well to fight for the ball and keep it away. That's some brave goalkeeping. Oh, beautiful skill from Michael Yaboa. He's finally brought down by Ampedu. Ampedu was just being made to dance around with Michael Yaboa playing the tune the way he wanted it. Oh.
Yeah, that's a foul.
A tackle out of anger, maybe.
Yes, out of frustration. His team hasn't played well today, but he can hold his hand up and say, I gave it my all today, Ampedu. He's been good for them on that side. But collectively, it's not worked for them, and frustration sets in. Once he's been dilly-dallied in that manner, he seems to have only one option on his mind, bringing him down to stop the embarrassment.
Osei Bonsu, see the one making way. Yes, Osei Bonsu has made way for Ebenezer Sechere.
Is that a decent game today, Bonsu?
Now Bonsu has been real danger for Legon City to contain. Olympics have another man down. Ebenezer Sechere joined from Asukwa Deportivo this term. So he had his former playmate at Deportivo playing on the other side for Legon Cities in David Kujo, who I see calling Medway. We're doing 4 minutes of additional time, and Awaku seems to be in some kind of trouble. You need urgent medical attention. Confirmation of additional time.
When Olympics look back on the 2 games they've played so far in this season, and every other team who's watching them looks back on them, they'll be thinking, now listen, the Olympics team we saw from 2 seasons ago, the Olympic team that got relegated and got back into the league, the Olympic team that, you know, was topsy-turvy last time out, just maybe this season is a different story altogether. And again, as we see the goals that came through, the first one from Gladson Awaku, the man who is down at the minute. The ball ricocheted, came off somebody in that wall, wrong-footed the goalkeeper and found the back of the net. And at this point, it was on the stroke of half-time. Then again, the second goal, take a look at the body positioning of the defender. They're not great, and here he got into the very wrong position, into the back of his man, too tight on him. And when the skipper steps up, he's making no mistake with that one, converting from the spot beautifully to make it 2-0. And that was a very short run up to the ball, but this finish delights me. It tells you the whole story about Olympics tonight. The way they press high up the pitch, the way they show their aggression, the way they've chased the Legon cities down, and to cap that one off with that brilliant finish. Goalkeeper was getting nowhere near that. It's been a brilliant evening for them.
It's been an excellent evening for Great Olympics. They've scored full marks, and they couldn't have given any better performance than this. Legon City will look back and say there's a lot more work to be done on this team.
Yeah.
Work in progress, but the progress must be faster. Confusion about who has the legitimate right to take this throw. Then Olympics will get the better of that decision from Ali Musa. Ebenezer Sechere. Edu Jemfi. Joey J, Jonah Tukwe, Michael Yaboa, Awaku, Yaboa, Sunday Hassan tries to play the 1-2 with Yaboa, couldn't quite get a better touch on that ball. Fatal will take Legon City back into enemy territory. They get a free kick, foul by Razak.
I mean, Jonah Tukwe is another player
The foul has gone against it's gone for Razak, absolutely.
Yeah. There's the foul. There is him into his back.
There was an elbow from Yakubu.
Absolutely. It's that elbow that he won the ball, yes, but that elbow that the referee spotted that makes this a foul, and rightly so. As I was saying, Jonah Tukwe is one player as well who's got all the ability to be, he's got all the ability to be excited. But in today's game, it's his end product that has let him down on most occasions. As has been the case for several other players in Opoku, you know, Baba Mahama, Brahima, Kujo. It's the end products that has let them down.
Hassan. Yakubu. Michel Otu.
You know one thing, with this results now, Olympics go top, at least for now, in the Ghana Premier League.
That's an interesting story. Don't quite remember the last time Olympics went top of the Ghana Premier League, but hey, if you're a Dade fan, you have a perfect Friday gift to enjoy.
Take a look at the number of bodies they've committed forward in trying to press Legon cities. That's what they've been doing all night. Incredible stuff from Olympics.
Any moment from now, I expect referee Ali Musa to whistle and bring the game to an end, and there he goes. The Gospel-based Class 1 referee has brought proceedings to an end here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Great Olympics, they came, they saw, and they conquered. Deserving win, brilliant performance, good goals, total football from Great Olympics. 3-0, full-time score at the Accra Sports Stadium. Great Olympics. that was the penalty. So he goes down.
Yeah. And again, when you take a look at
Ashi,
it was always going to be a penalty. It's a poor tackle, poor challenge. On the wrong side of your man, you don't go that close to him.
and no mistakes from the captain,
Yeah. Lovely take.
Maxwani Abekwe. At this point, it was almost a done deal, but up until now, when the third goal, they finally sealed it. So, moment of loss of concentration. How did this happen?
Yeah.
Yakub Mohammed.
You see the number of players they commit forward. You see the press in the game that he had. He even had an option of passing, but once he unleashed that strike with his left foot, the ball was rising into the roof of the net, and goalkeeper had no chance to get to the ball. And that was a brilliant finish to cap off an incredible game that Olympics have had tonight.
Powerful delivery, great goal to put the icing on the cake. He's worked all afternoon, all evening, providing us with some interesting moments, football brilliance. And Legon City have tasted their first defeat of the season. Olympics get their first win, and they have 4 points, and they go top of the Premier League for now. After full time, it's Great Olympics 3, Legon City's 0. At the Accra Sports Stadium, it's been me, Nana Dakwa JC, and Sichope Astrim Philip. Now to Eli Kondo for post-match interviews. But before that, it's 52% of the possession for Olympics. They deserve to win. 6 shots on goal, 5 corner kicks to Legon City's 2, 10 fouls committed. Legon City's committed 21, and 1 yellow card apiece. Full-time scores, Legon City's losing by 3 goals to 0 to Accra Great Olympics. Now to Eli for post-match interviews.